Okay. Now today we are going to start the unit 2. In first unit we have seen conduction without the heat generation. Means Qg was 0. If you remember Qg, G for heat generation, then the Qg was 0 there. But here, all of you, those who are new, you can take your personal attendance. If by chance I forgot to take the attendance, you can send me. It's my request that you should take a screenshot of your presence for the lectures. This is unit 2 we have started today, and unit 2 conduction with generation means the generation means Poisson's equation, the problems related to the Poisson's equation we are considering in this unit. Now this chapter, actually in previous syllabus, this was the two chapters were there, one for generation and another for the extended surfaces. Means the fins are coming in this category, but here they have combined both that and they have made one chapter. Means actually this chapter means this part, you can say, not chapter. First part is very much derivations, mathematical, and the problems are quite tough. But if you understand the logic in the first part, the same pattern will be there for the problem. Means in exam, the pattern will not be different. If you got this, then you it will be easy for you to solve the numericals. But and this second part, extended surface, is quite a simple, and this will be asked in a GATE exam as well. And this the terms which are at the time of explaining syllabus, fin efficiency, effectiveness, this part will be asked most of the times in GATE exam or oral or interview, like that. Hence students are preferring this part because they are interested in this, because they have seen this fins. They have, means anybody when see something, then eagerness will be created for that person. He is eager to learn that thing, and this is totally mathematical part. Hence students get bored while studying this. And for you it is very, you are lucky that these two will be option will be there. Either you have to solve the numerical on this or this. Is most of the students are preferring this part. This we will start after 3 to 4 lectures, but for today we will complete for 2 to 3 lectures. This will be the part. Okay. And those who have attended my first unit, they will easily get this unit, this part, because it is most of the terms are related with the first unit only. Hence don't try to remain absent, try to be present here. I request you all, don't waste the time. You are wasting only on whatever you are, means opportunity you have got, you have to grasp that opportunity. Okay. Now with generation, here uh, here there is one concept that the heat is generated uniformly. Means if suppose there is a one by 1 meter cube is there, then what we are considering, not at center of that volume, but uniformly at each and every part, the heat is generated at the same rate. Okay, this is the concept here. Means it is not a like at a means when nuclear reaction is happening, you take example of IC engine. Just at the in the IC engine, what happens, where the heat is being generated nearer to the spark plug, and after that it is being spread. Means that is not uniform distribution. At the spark plug there will be the more temperature, and as you go away from the spark plug area, there will be somewhat difference in the temperature, but that will be very very small, and that we can neglect also at the time of practical solutions, solving the numericals. But here what we are considering, the throughout the volume, control volume, same heat is being generated and at the same rate, and that is watt per meter cube. Means for one particular volume, 1 meter cube volume, how much heat is being generated, that is being told. Okay, and if you multiply it by volume, this is a small qg term. In future this will be coming while solving the numerical. This is called small qg. I will use that notation here, small qg. Here two qgs are there, suppose this is small qg, and if you multiply this qg by volume, you will get capital qg. And what we are assuming here in this unit, that okay, this generation rate is uniform. Okay, hence you have to just multiply by volume, you will get throughout volume. Okay, this is the concept here. Actually there can be the difference that at the heat generation point it will be more heat, and as you go away it will reduce. Next point. Now these are the some examples. Heat generated due to passage of current through the metals like conductors. Means what we are seeing, the electric wire. The heat is generated at the copper wire and it is being spread. Okay, we are passing the current and heat is generated with the formula I square R. Okay, by I square R formula, heat is generated and that is being next conducted. Whatever heat is generated, that is conducted to the copper, and same is conducted to the insulator, and same is convected to the atmosphere. This is the concept in this unit. We will get to this, don't worry about this, I am telling faster. You will be worried how fast sir is going. At the time of solving the derivations, you will get this concept. And this can be the problems on nuclear reaction, electrical conductor, or concrete slab. And this is the example, this example you are familiar with. You are not familiar, okay, electrical conductor you are familiar, this is also you are familiar. You take an example of electrical press. While you ironing your clothes, the same, in between two concrete slab the electric wire is passing and heat is generated inside, and that is spread. This is very common day-to-day application, these two, first and three. And combustion of fuel in IC engine. Okay, now this is the first derivation. Now directly here there is no theory, only derivations and numericals are there. Okay, and directly we will start with the derivation. As once you go at the first unit, you will definitely able to understand this portion. See, in this unit all the derivations and numericals are there, no theory is there in this. Hence this is one of the reasons students are not preferring this, because this is a quite tough part to understand. But those who got the first unit, they will definitely got this, and directly they will be able to solve the numericals on it. But those who are now not studied properly first unit, they have to skip, they normally skip this, they have to, sorry, they normally skip this part. Now this is the, here this is the heat conduction with internal heat generation through a slab. This is the slab, two slabs are there, they are joined, and through this heat is being generated. This is a slab, through this heat is generated. How it is generated we are not bothered about. It can be nuclear reactor, electrical, IC engine, or it can be chemical reaction, whatever. How it is generated, that is not our part, that is electrical or chemical part. When it is generated, from that our part comes. Suppose here the it is being generated and here the symbol small g is used. Okay, this is the symbol small g or capital Qj, or I will write this as, to avoid the confusion, small backspace. I will change this small qj. Okay, the heat is being generated at this rate. This rate is common throughout the body. Again here the Q will be there. Okay, instead of G, we have written now QG. 1 minute. This is the QG with which heat is being generated. Now, if you remember the first unit, now see, this is the slab with length L, having length L. Okay, heat is generated, and this is the heat is being transferred. After generation, heat is transferred, and remember, heat is transferred throughout, means in the direction also, in the direction and perpendicular to your screen direction. But here we are considering only unidirectional heating. Okay, why this arrow is shown? Because for your syllabus there is only unidirectional heating. Hence, this is the heat is being spread in the direction we have assumed. This is the length of this, or you can say width of this slab. Here L is used. Here X is 0. Here as you go, means here along this line origin is considered. This is the origin point, and as you go here X increases, and here X is equal to L. Okay, this is the Y direction. And here see this temperature, this is the temperature is called TW, T wall temperature, and this is the air temperature surrounding to this slab. There air is there, and it is being expressed as T infinite. Remember, always we use T infinite for a fluid temperature, and this is the TW, T wall temperature. And this, as all of you know, here heat is generated and it is being spread. Hence, at this point the temperature will be minimum, at this point the temperature will be maximum. And if you draw the temperature curve, 1 minute, if you draw the temperature curve, it will be like this. Okay, at the center point temperature, this is the temperature profile, temperature graph you can say. At that wall the temperature is TW, and at the center the temperature is T max, you can say. We are representing it by T max, like this. We will come to this, but again it is having some thermal conductivity. This is the wall, means it is solid, solid is there, and heat is being conducted. Okay, and why this is shown? These dotted lines are shown to have express the resistance. Means here there is one resistance of the air, resistance of the wall, and resistance of the air again. Okay, and as it is uniformly heat is generated and temperature of both the walls are same, hence this Q will be same. Okay, this Q will be uniformly distributed. Okay, all of you got from this diagram? Okay, and now we will come to the Poisson equation. All of you remembering this equation, or this is the part which we have taken from the first unit? All of you got this, how it is come? Anybody? Omkar, do you remember this part, how it is come? This is the unidirectional heat conduction equation for with heat generation. This we have seen in from the first part. Or to, I will revise some, I will go back to first unit just for a fraction of, so that you will understand. Check that. I will go to this part within a first. Those who have missed the first unit, they will be confused how this has come. See, this derivation we have seen. and from this derivation, okay, these different equations we have seen. This is the generalized heat conduction equation, and when steady state is 0, when for when there is a steady state is there, its temperature is not going to change with time. In steady state, for that, this is the equation. Okay, this equation is nothing but the same equation, but this is for 3-dimensional. This we have seen in the first unit. Okay, basics of heat transfer first unit on when we have seen on the studying first unit, and for unidirectional these two will be 0. Okay, and this is the equation for steady state unidirectional. Sorry, this is not, this is the Laplace equation. This is the equation for steady state unidirectional heat generation equation. This is called Poisson's equation. On based on this equation only we are going to solve the derivations now. Okay, I think today's very good attendance is there, sufficient strength is there, seems to be. How many participants are there? There are about 20 students are there. These 2 will be myself only. But that roll number 2932, have they student attended? 37, and I have 4 students who are not joined up to today's lecture. I will see 1 minute. Who were that 4 students? 29, 32, 37, 39. Whether that among that 4 anybody has present? 29, 32, 37, 39. I think that 4 are not present. They 0 attendance will be carried forward for that student. I have even personal message also. Okay, no problem. No one is there. 15, 21, 31. You can take a screenshot of this. Okay, forget. बोल के भी नहीं आते लड़के. Okay, means from here we have picked that equation, Poisson's equation for steady state condition. Okay, those who have not understood, you can watch my videos. Okay, this is the equation which we have got. Okay, directly you have to write the Poisson's equation. Okay, and at the center point x is equal to L by 2, and at this is why H is used here, because the air is there, hence convection is there in H, air, hence H symbol we are used. Okay, now this is over, this slide is over, and this is the rate of heat generation, and this is and with heat is being generated with watt per meter cube rate. Okay, now that's from this. Now again we have to find the maximum temperature. Here we have to find the wall temperature, hence you have to integrate this equation 2 times, same as like in first unit. We have taken the first integration. Okay, integrate this first time means the second derivative will go out and first derivative will come, and here you are integrating with respect to x, hence here x will come and c1 will come. Okay, dt by dx minus qg by k, this qg from left side is transferred to the right side. Okay, hence the minus we have taken, and x has come, and again c1. This is the equation is used for finding the maximum temperature, because for maximum or minimum value we are equating this to 0. Those who have attended the first unit, they will get, or the new students, remember for for finding the maximum or minimum value, we are equating this term to 0. Hence, we are giving a number to this, as we have to use this equation in future. Okay. Now, this is the, again, for finding the t, we have again integrated. First time, second time. C1x will be there and C2 will come. Okay. And here, see, this is the derivation. We have to solve for two cases. What are the two cases? In first case, we are assuming that the temperature of the both the walls are same, and in second case, what we are assuming, the temperature of one wall is different and other side is different. Okay, temperature of one wall is different and other side is different. Okay, for these two cases we have to solve this, or find out the equation from that generalized equation. Okay, this is the equations will be common. Always you have to draw the diagram, write down this equation, and take the integration twice. Remember the steps. Okay, once you remember this step, it will be very easy if your math is perfect. Here 2 times integration, and after that finding C1 C2 value, you have to use the boundary condition. Simple. This will be the trend always in heat transfer. Now case 1, when the both the surface of the wall are same temperature, means at x is equal to 0 temperature is Tw, at x is equal to L temperature is equal to Tw. Here this is the Tw, here it is also Tw, means here at x is equal to 0 temperature, on y coordinate the temperature is there Tw, and here temperature is Tw. Same thing we have written. Now when you put x is equal to 0 here, see here in this equation, when you put x is equal to 0, okay, then what will be there? This will be 0, this will be 0, this is Tw. Okay, hence C2 is equal to Tw, and directly from this we have got C2 is equal to Tw. Okay, we have to find C1 and C2. After that we will use the second boundary condition. Here we have used first boundary condition, here we will use the or directly here we can use here in this equation x is equal to L, C2 is equal to Tw, and this is Tw. Means Tw gets cancelled. Here at x is equal to L, at x is equal to L temperature is Tw. This C2 is already Tw, means Tw will be gets cancelled, and here minus Qg by 2k L square C1L. Okay, this will be there, and this minus when you go on this left side it will be plus here. Hence that Qg by 2k L has come. Everybody got how this C1 value has come? Have you got this? Have you got how that C1 value has come? Or any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Got na? Okay, no problem. Okay. C1 and C2 we have found out, and just put the C1 C2 value in this equation. You will get the temperature distribution equation. Up to this, if you are able to solve, you will get suppose 6-mark problem will be there, you will get at least 3 marks. Okay, 1 mark for this these two carries 1 mark, and solving you will get 1 mark. And if you find C1 and C2 and put in this equation, just finding the C1 and C2 and put in here, you will get minimum marks, half marks you will get. Hence at least these steps you should do. If the problem is new to you, some new concepts are there, at least this much you can solve. Don't waste the marks. Something you have to write, you will get the marks. Okay, just here, see here, minus qg by 2k by square into x square. This as it is we have kept. We haven't done anything for this. Just we have written c1 instead of c1. We have written qg by 2k into l. This is the c1 term is there. This is the c1 term, and this is the c2 term. Okay, this is the c1 and this is the c2. Just I have put c1 and c2 value here. Okay, and after that what we have done here, qg by 2k taken common. Okay, l minus x into x, it will be lx, and if you multiply here minus x square, this term minus we have written on this side, and plus means this term we have written first, this term second, and taken qg by 2k into x common. Here l minus x will be there in bracket, written somewhat in this manner. You have to also write in this manner, and tw as it is. Okay, this is the equation. This is called temperature distribution equation. Why it is called temperature distribution equation? Because this equation represents variation. Here, see here, in this equation only this is the constant. I will go to this. See here, why it is called temperature distribution equation? Because this is constant term. qg is constant, 2k is constant, l is constant. Okay, oh, and tw is also constant. Wall temperature is constant. Only here t is the function of x. Here t is variable and x is variable. See, all remaining terms are constant, hence it is called temperature distribution equation. Means when you put any value of x, as per that x value you will get temperature value. Okay, means suppose this is x you equal to 0, you put here, you will get tw value. When you put any value of x, accordingly you will get the x is equal to temperature value. By common sense, you can see that the temperature will be maximum at x is equal to L by 2. This is the common sense. But this you have to prove mathematically. Okay. If you tell that, sir, at the center the temperature will be maximum, but they will not. They will ask you how you have proved. Sir, it is common sense. But the common sense will not be applicable. You have to tell it mathematically. Hence, for proving that at the center the temperature is maximum, you have to use this equation. This is mathematics. Mathematically, in future, if you go on research work, PhD work, anything you have to prove experimentally as well as mathematically. Experimentally, you can prove T is equal to temperature is maximum at the center. But also, you have to prove that mathematically, then your purpose is solved. Then you will get the PhD degree. Otherwise, you will not get PhD degree. Okay? If you want to get. That is the main question. Now for T max is equal to dt by dx is equal to 0. This is the mathematics. Nobody will ask you how this is has come. You have to tell that this is the mathematical formula. For getting T maximum or minimum, we have to equate the dt equal to 0. This is a maxima minima chapter from mathematics. And for this getting TD equal to 0, okay, you have to again go to that equation number 1. Means here this is the 0 you have to write, and here instead of c1 you have to write c1 value qg by 2k l. If you write here instead of this qg by 2k l, then here qg by k gets cancelled. You will get x is equal to l by 2 after solving this. We see here after this step. Hence the equation 3 becomes, where is that equation 3? Now this is the equation you have to use always, because this is the temperature distribution equation. Sorry, it is not a 3. I have to write equation as 2. Sorry, 1. Not 3. I will correct that. Remember, making this PPT is not an easy task. Huh? Just for making one PPT, it will carry 15 to 20 minutes. Writing equations in PPT is not a simple task. I could have used directly this book screenshot and told you, but it will be simple task. But making a writing this equation, if you have that laptop in your house, you try to practice this, then you will feel how much difficult task is this. Just writing this equation. I forgot somewhere something. Where is that? Hence the equation 1 becomes, okay, dt by dx minus, where is that equation 1? Just you have to write this dt by dx is equal to 0. Where is the equation 1? This is 0 minus qg by k into x plus c1. You can write plus c1, and after that you can put the value of c1 qg by 2k l. Okay, here next qg by 2k l. This is nothing but c1. Okay, this is the c1 term, and dt by dx as 0, and this is as it is. Okay, qg by 2k l, qg by 2k l, and by solving this you will get x is equal to l by 2. Okay, this qg by 2k gets cancelled, or what they have done, see here, they have dt by dx as 0, means here they have taken the derivative. Okay, dt by dx qg by 2k l, lx will be there if you multiply here, sorry, if you take the derivative of this term. If you want to take the derivative of this term for finding dt by dx, I want to find this dt by dx, then I will take the derivative of this term, means this is dt by dx, this is 0 because constant term, qg by 2k l, d by dx by dx 1 will be there, and qg by 2k x square derivative 2x will be there, hence that 2x has come there. Okay, control s, hence that 2x has come there. Okay, qg by 2k 2x, qg by 2k l equal to 0, and this is 0, and qg by 2k gets cancelled, 2x is equal to l, means x is equal to l by 2. Okay, now this we have proved mathematically. Okay, hence at the temperature, sorry, at x is equal to l by 2, temperature will be maximum. Now what will be the value of maximum temperature? The location you have found out, but the value also you have to find out. Again, for that you have to go to the temperature distribution equation, equation number 3. This equation, as I earlier told you, it gives you the value of temperature at different x values. Okay, hence at x is equal to l by 2, if you put here instead of x here, okay, here I will put x is equal to l by 2, then what will be there? L minus l by 2, l by 2 will be there, and here again l by 2, means l square by 4. This together will become l square by 4, and 4 into 2 8, means qg by 8k l square. Okay, plus tw. Okay, because you have to add the wall temperature, and you will get that T max. Okay, control S. Why you are adding the TW? Okay, I forgot to write the TW. Plus TW. Control S. All of you got how that How this equation has come? All of you got this? You can do with thumb also if you're not able to speak. One minute. Control plus. Okay, now it's correct. Why this TW is there? Because maximum temperature, see, this is the value, this is the point, this center point. If I will check whether you can see this. Okay, you can see this point. Okay, I will zoom this slide. Sorry. See, this is the maximum temperature point and this is the TW. Okay, means this maximum temperature is always greater than TW, and hence you have to add TW there. TW plus something means that's something QG by that L square by 4. Now see, QG by 8K into L square. Now if you draw, 1 minute, sorry, I will again use that, my favorite option. This is the TW. Here also TW. Along this line, hold. This line shows TW temperature line, and this length is nothing but this term. This term. Okay, means some TW plus something. QG by 8K plus L square. This is the maximum temperature it shows. All of you got this? Up to this, they will ask you to find out the maximum temperature for 6 to 7 marks. And you can see that this equation is parabolic. Why it is called parabolic? When there is square term, you have to write it as parabolic. When there is a cube term, you have to write as cubic term. Like when there is log term, you have to write as logarithmic equation. When there is exponential e raised to x, you have to write as exponential. Like that you have to remember. As square term is there, directly write down as equation 3 is parabolic. Equation 3 means what happened? Here is that equation 3 term. Escape. This equation is nothing but this equation. Here x square is there, square term is there, means this is the parabolic equation. Okay. Hence this profile is called parabolic temperature profile. All of you got this? How this has come? Because based on this derivation only, remaining derivations will be there. Hence it is very important to learn this derivation. Once you got, the different derivations will be easier for you to get understand. Okay. And you have to find the heat transfer rate. This temperature you have found out. Now we will see if you have a time whether we can find the heat transfer. Okay, we can find out. I think we have 5 to 10 minutes time, or if the time is over, we will skip this part to the second lecture. But for time being, now see, now here, 1 minute, here we have to find the heat transfer rate. Okay. Now see here, whatever the heat is generated here, what will happen to that generated heat? That heat is convected to the atmosphere. Is it correct? Okay. Are you getting this? Whatever heat is generated, the same heat is transferred to the atmosphere. Hence, total heat generated, as per the steady state equation, total heat generated is equal to total heat convected. This is nothing. Okay, only 5 minutes are remaining. Okay, see here, I will repeat this part in the next lecture also, but we have time. You listen this. Whatever heat is generated, the same heat is being convected, and second lecture will be tomorrow, not now. One thing you remember, this is the convected part. Okay, this is the generated part. Now see here suppose this is the total heat generated. QG is equal to ALQG. How this has come? Capital QG is total heat generated. small Qg is the heat generated per unit volume. If you multiply it by volume, now see, suppose this is the area of cross section. Roll number 44, whether you have any problem? I think you have touched that spiral symbol. Okay, now see, this is the area of cross section, and means you can't see that area of cross section that is perpendicular to your mobile screen, and if you multiply that by length, you will get the volume. Hence, this is the heat generated per unit volume term, and this is volume term. You will get the total heat generated. This total heat generated, half of the heat generated will be go on the left side, and half of the heat generated will go on the right side. Okay, hence half of the heat generated, Qg by 2, is equal to heat convected. That heat is being used to rise the temperature of air. Okay, this heat is used to rise the temperature of air. This remaining half is used to rise the temperature of air. Okay, means you can write Qg by 2 is equal to HA. This is the wall temperature. Area will be same for air as well as wall. This wall, A will be there. H is for air. TW minus TA. This TA is the air temperature. TW is the wall temperature. Because of this temperature difference, heat will go, and that is HA TW minus TA. This is the heat convected. All of you got this concept? All of you got this concept? If you got these various problems, you are able to solve in future. Okay, have you got roll number 11, 10, 7, 1? Okay, you got. Whatever heat, half of the heat generated is gone on the left side, half of the heat gone on the right side. That is being convected. Convected means it is used to rise the temperature of air. HA, we know the convection formula, HA delta T. H is the property of air. A is the area of surface area which is in contact with the area which is in contact with the air. Same area of the wall is in contact with the air, and temperature difference. Just write the value. A gets cancelled. After this, there is only mathematics. See here, A gets cancelled. LG, H, TW minus TA, L. Okay, this is just rearrangement. H is gone on this side, L is on this side, and see here. Obviously, from this equation, you can say that TW is greater than TA, because TW is equal to TA plus something. Okay, TA plus something means this is whatever we have found out, the relation. This relation we have found is correct. If this is minus, this has come here, then whatever you have proved, that is wrong. Okay, now this is correct. TA plus something, because wall temperature is higher, air temperature is smaller, and that difference is nothing but Qg into L by 2H. Now, if you want to find the unit of this term, definitely it will be Kelvin. If you have time, ample time, you can take a screenshot of this and do a practice at your home. I will tell you, this is watt per meter cube, this is meter, and this is watt per meter square Kelvin. Means here watt per meter square will remain, here watt per meter square Kelvin, watt per meter square gets cancel, only Kelvin will remain. Kelvin is equal to Kelvin. Kelvin is equal to Kelvin plus Kelvin. Remember, only same terms we can add. Okay, this is the first derivation we have completed today. Okay, I think we have today we have completed in 50 minutes. It is very good speed. Okay, I thought we could not reach up to this point, but luckily we have reached up to this. Means first case we have solved, second case we will see in the next lecture. Okay, someone